Hello Sumate, welcome to another video tutorial. So this is a continuation of how to make an overbust cupped corset with busk. I've uploaded about 3 videos and this is the last one of it. If you really want to learn something in details, this series I've been uploading in my channel is for you. So I'll be continuing from where I stopped in the last video. Go and watch the last video to understand this one, okay? So like I said, I've gone ahead to iron it. Can you see how neatly done it is? I've gone ahead to iron. I've ironed the side also and I've replaced and I've kept the hook back. So the next thing now is for me to make sure that these two, they are placed equally like this, right? They are equal on this side. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me check if you can see what I'm doing. All right. So now you place it like this. You make sure that they are equal. You make sure that they are equal like this. This edge is equal like this. Then the lower part of it is also equal. So you know this one now, we'll be passing it beneath the material. Do you get? Now for us to pass it, this is how we'll be placing it. You know this part is closer to this part, so we'll be placing it this way. This is how we'll be placing it, right? This is how we'll be placing it. Now we need to create a hole on this main fabric for this part to pop up, like to push out for this hook to enter. Do you understand? So what we'll do now, we'll place this one equally like this. Can you see? So don't lap it. Do you get? Don't lap it. Just place it. Make sure that the both edges are meeting like this. Don't lap it. The both edge should be meeting. So when you do it like that, you can see what I'm using. Bring your pencil. And create a point like this where we'll be punching this part open for us to pass this other distance through it. So this is what we'll be having. So make sure they are meeting. Make sure they are meeting. The both edge is meeting. Don't lap it. Just make it meet like this. Okay. So this is what we have. Can you see? So what I will do now is, I have my hole. This is what I'll be using to punch. I'll be punching the 7 lines open. I will not be punching on the lining, only on the main fabric. Can you see? It's like this. Hope you can see. So this thing is all is 1,000 naira. They sell it in the market. So I'll just use it to punch. If you don't have it, you can use your scissors or anything at all that you can use to do it, to just create your opening. You can see what I'm doing. Can you see? So now I've pushed it. I have to go to the inside and push it to the other side so that the whole the opening will be obvious. And because we have this thing, we have this thing on the material, it makes it very firm and not that easy to punch through. So I'm trying to create the holes bigger. So this is it. Let's try to put this, if it will pass through the hole, if the holes are big enough yet. Like this. Okay, the hole is big enough. Can you see it? It has come out. Can you see it? So this is how I'll go ahead to push everything out. like this. Don't make your holes too wide so that it will fit in properly. It will not be shaking. Can you see it? So we've succeeded in passing it through it fully, like this. So let's see if it will fit into the other side. We'll iron all these things, all these ruffles, we'll iron them out. Can you see what we have? So let's see if this will fit in properly. Can you see that everything fits in, everything matched correctly? So like this, we are done with the busk part. So the next point now is that we'll be going to the sewing machine. We'll be going to the sewing machine to press it down. We'll go to the sewing machine, we'll press. You know the busk is like half an inch, like this. So we'll press it down firmly, like this. We'll also press this side down firmly. Do you understand? Or probably, I will have to turn the upper part first before we'll press this side down. Because if we go ahead to press this side now, I think it will be easy. It will be difficult for us to turn this upper part with the busk in it. So now go ahead and remove the busk. Then we'll go and turn. After turning, we'll put the busk again accordingly. Then we'll press it down. I don't know if you understand. Because if we press here now, how are we going to turn it like this with the lining? Do you understand? And with the busk in it, so it's going to be hard to be able to bend it over. That's if you understand what I'm saying. So, where is the... So, we are now at the sewing machine. So the next thing now, like I said, let's turn this upper part around first before anything. Or I want to conceal the side, this thing. I want to conceal the side seam. I don't want the side seam to be obvious. Do you get? I want to conceal it like I'm making an inseam. So what I will have to do first now is to join the front to the back. I'll be joining the front to the back, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. I don't want, like I want to make an inseam. Hope you understand. So let me join the front to the back, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. This is the front. I'm joining it to the back. Okay, let me remove one part so that we don't get confused. No, this is not the right part. So this is it. This is the side for the back. This is the side for the front. So I want to join it together like this. Then I'll bring the one for the lining. I'll also join the lining together. As I'm doing it, you understand what I'm doing. You're not going to be confused. So let's just go ahead and join. So it's 1.5 we're doing. So for the lining, we are doing the same thing for the lining. So you see the way I'm joining it now. That's how we join both the left side and the right side. Then after joining, we'll go to the next step together. I'm ahead to attach the back and front together. So after attaching, this is what it looks like. The front and the back together. This is it, like this. I've done the same thing for this side. So the next thing we'll have to do is to turn the upper part, like I said earlier. So we'll be turning this one together. So we'll put it this way, right side facing right side, like this. Then we're just going to run our stitch through it with 1/2 inch from the center front like this straight to the center back, like this. You can see it now. I've gone ahead to run it straight. So let's turn it to the other side and see what we have. So this is how the inside is going to be like. Can you see what we have? So this part also, the center back, we have to join the center back. We have to join the center back, so it will remain the hem. And for the hem part, like I said earlier, I'm using bias to do the finishing for the hem part. So this is the center back. I am placing together. So I'll go ahead and turn everything. So by the time we iron it now, everything will come out well. So the center front and the center back, we've already turned with lining. This is what the inside looks like. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So I'll be sewing it from the inside of it. As I'm sewing it, I'll be pulling my pins away. See where the busk end here. That's where I'll be pressing on. So this is it for this one. This part where this thing ends, I'm just going to stitch it down. I will stitch it down like this. Can you see it? You can see how neatly done it is. This is it on the inside, like this. So I'll bring the other part. We'll do the same thing to it. So you can see it like this. So after stitching both sides, after running a tight stitch to hold the busk together on both sides, this is what we have. You can see how firm it is. Like I can literally take it off like this, and it's still intact. So please make sure you put your busk correctly, like I have explained to us in the video. So the next part now, you can see that this other side is popping up, and I didn't do top stitching because I want to use a hemming gun to press it, to press this cup part inside. Please don't ignore the stain, I'll wash it out. So I will have to separate it, then I will put my hemming gun to iron it from the inside like this. Because I want it to be very neat. So the part I've kept hemming on, I'll pin it down. You can see how I'm doing it. You make sure, can you see it? I don't want the lining popping up when I put it on. Do you understand? So that's why I want to hold it down with hemming gum. That's why I'm holding it down with hemming gum. So it's just the upper part I'm using hemming gum on. I'm not using hemming gum on the whole of the cup. Hope you understand. So only the upper part I'm trying to hold down so that it will be smooth enough. You can see I'm pushing the lining inside like this. Can you see it? So I'll go ahead to iron it. My iron is hot already. You can see, okay, so I don't need the tailor's app. You can see how I'm doing it. You can see how neatly done it is. So this is it. When you pull it, can you see? This side doesn't pull. If you want to iron everything, it all depends on you. But I think holding just this edge down is enough to give your cup the neat finishing. Can you see it? So now I will repeat the same thing for the other side, but I will do that off camera. So here is it. The both part has been done. I've gone ahead to do the other part. Can you see? You can see how neatly done it is. So the next thing we'll be doing now is we have to pipe the bottom of it. Then we'll now, okay, no, before we go ahead to pipe the bottom, we have to put our boning, create our eyelet line for the center back because we are using eyelets on it. So now I'll bring my pencil so we can mark or chalk, anyone. So for the center back, to create our eyelet, this is what we'll be doing. So I'm going to mark 1/2 inch apart, 3 lines. So I'll try to make the pencil faint like this, 1/2 inch from the top to the bottom of it. So I'll go off camera and mark the 1/2 inch straight to the bottom on both sides. So you can see what I've gone ahead to do. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 3 lines, roll it down, 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 then down like that. So now this line will be carrying boning. This line and this line will be carrying boning. The middle line will be for the eyelet. Do you understand? The middle line is for the eyelet. So the next thing I will be doing now, I will just go to the sewing machine, run a straight stitch like I did in the first video. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Then I'll come back. We'll go to the next step. So I've gone ahead to run a stitch on it. 1 2 3. I ran the 3 lines that I marked on this point too. I went ahead to run straight stitches on it. Then on the other side I did the same thing. So the center back like this is ready. The next thing we have to do now, I have my plastic bony already cut out. I measured with it, then I left at least 3/4 of an inch below that we used to pack my bias. I left 3/4 of an inch below. So the next thing I will have to do now is to bring my candle. I will burn this thing. So here is my candle. I will just go ahead and burn the edges. After that, I will allow the boning to cool down a bit before passing it through it. So this is it. The both sides are ready. The bone is ready. So here is my bias. I made 2 bias for each side of the corset. We'll be going to the machine to sew it together. Now the width of my bias is 1.5. Can you see? I made it 1.5. So we'll be going to the machine to turn the lower part with the bias. So now this is it. This is the right side of the bias. So at the edge like this, I'm going to fold like this, right? So I'll bring it here like this, and I'll go on my machine, sew it 1/2 inch. So this part, I'll cut it a bit away from the edge, then I'll fold it in like this. You can see what I'm doing. I'll fold it in. I have to thread my needle. So this is it. Can you see the inside? So I'll turn it like this. Turn it like this. Then like this. Can you see? Now if you want the bias to be visible on your own, if you want the bias to be visible, it means instead of starting from the right side, you bring your bias to the wrong side, then you turn it the other way around. Hope you understand. But I don't want mine to be like that. So can you see it? This is the inside. This is the outside. Can you see how neatly done it is? So the next thing now, I'll be repeating the same thing for the other part of it. So you can see the lower part that it is done. It's done neatly. So the next thing now is to mark where I will be putting my eyelet. You know, I told you the center of it is where the eyelet will be. That's where I'll be putting the eyelet. So do you want to make your eyelet 1 inch different? So from the upper part, I will come down with like 1/2 an inch like this. This is where the first eyelet will be starting from. Then I'm going to mark how I want it. I'll be using 1.5. You can make it 1. You can make it 2 inches gap, 3 inches gap. But if the gap is too much, your back might pop up. So I either use 1.5 or 1 inch for the distance between my eyelets, so that everything will be well packed. I don't want a situation whereby some part of my body will just be pushing out, like the flesh will just be pushing out. So when the distance between the eyelets is not much, like once it is tight like this, you'll see that everything will be very firm. So the same we have marked on this one, I'll go ahead and mark on the other side too. So I've gone ahead to mark 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So I'll go ahead and use my, the busk is silver, so the eyelet has to be silver, please. Make sure of that. So I'm going to be fixing the eyelet on the both side, and I'll be punching the hole with my soldering iron. It's not hot enough. So it is hot enough. At the point where I marked with my pencil, I'll put it in. Make sure it's not too wide. You can see what I did. So from the back, please, it is from the right side you place your your eyelet. Strong. Can you see? There's the right side. Place it on your machine like this. Can you see? So this is what I'll be doing to all of them on both sides. Here is it. You can see that I've done it. The eyelet has been added to both sides like this. So it is done.